Would Taggets be good for tight bunions as well?
Yeah, like, so the thing with bunions, like, it's a little bit of a loaded thing, right? So first you want to address the bunion itself. And so for people who don't know, it's like the big toe knuckle, like the big toe is kind of moved off to the side, and then this kind of bulges out a little bit, right? And so Taggets is incredibly good for that. It reduces the inflammation. A lot of times it will take a lot of the pain out. And you could say it increases flexibility a little bit, but it usually is the way to calm down the bunion, right? Then from there, if the toes already moved substantially, like sometimes you can get these little spacers that will help. You get them on Amazon, and they're just like toe spacers. And I like the one, like sometimes you just put them between the first and the second toe, but there's one that goes all the way across the foot. And you only wear it for about an hour or so. Like I would put the Taggets on and then put the little spacers on to just kind of spread the toes. And that will kind of start moving the toe back to proper alignment. Whenever you look at a bunion, there's usually one of three reasons why the bunion happened, right? So one is you look at the kind of shoes that you're wearing, and if they're real narrow toe box, what happens is you're kind of cramming your toes in there, and it literally kind of pushes the toe in that direction. Now, if the bunion's there, it's already been happening. So you just want to make sure your shoes have a bigger, more open toe box, or at least that they're more comfortable that way. Second is the lack of flexibility in the ankle. Like if the ankle isn't really flexible enough, it kind of throws off like how you walk, and you start kind of pushing off your foot in an abnormal way, and that actually can cause the bunion or aggravate the bunion. And so with that, you could use something like marjoram. You could also use kunzea, like kunzea by itself, or you can use chocolate root cleanser. And the reason chocolate root cleanser and kunzea is kunzea will help increase flexibility, especially in arthritic conditions. And chocolate root cleanser does so as well. And chocolate root cleanser, we've actually had a physical therapist like measure somebody's flexibility, put on chocolate root cleanser, and then have them do the flexibility again. And she said it's usually about a 20 to 30% increase just with the application. And, you want to keep working it, but I would put it on the ankle, like all around the ankle, but especially on the front side, and then up the shin, and then on the back of the calf. Like, so you're basically going to treat from the knee down to the ankle with chocolate root cleanser. Like you could use kunzea, but honestly, I would probably swing for chocolate root cleanser. Because chocolate root cleanser, it has mugwort and artemisia in it. It has other things in it as well. It helps to open up the energetic channels to that area, so it could potentially help that. The other thing that can potentially happen with a bunion is you're starting, not you, I'm just saying the person is starting to have potentially like a fallen arch, and your foot actually has 3 arches, right? But what happens is the arch starts to fall, and it changes the dynamic in the foot. And a lot of times you'll notice, because you become a little bit more flat-footed and your shoes don't fit quite as well. So going back to the first thing, it could be the combination of the way the shoe fits and then the fallen arch, because the foot actually kind of lengthens out a little bit. And one of the things that you want to do is you want to firm up that tissue, and Taggets can be put on it. Actually, what I use sometimes is black pepper. Like I rub black pepper on the foot, and it can help. And then you do this little exercise where you kind of curl your foot back, like you're bringing your toes to your knee, and then you spread out your toes, and you just keep spreading them out as long as you can, and like bringing them back to your knee as well. So you're bringing your foot back, and you're opening up your toes, and you're trying to arch your toes back. And you do it for about 15-20 seconds, and then let the foot relax, and then you You bring the foot back, stretch out the toes, and then curl them back as far as you can, and do several cycles of that. And if it's a fallen arch, and do that daily, and that will actually firm up the arch, especially combined with a little bit of pepper on the arch. And that will also minimize the issue with the bunion. Like, it will keep it from getting irritated or inflamed again. So targets in the beginning to disinflame and take some of the pain out, soften it up, and then address whatever the issue you think it is. If it's the shoes with bigger toe boxes, or sandals or something like that. If it's flexibility in the ankle, chakra root cleanser from the ankle up. And then if it's the fallen arch, black pepper on the bottom, open up the toes, bend them back, spread them out and bend them back. Like, really spread them out as much as you can and then bend them back. So, yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Greg.
You're so welcome.
So I think I was maybe born with this.
It's very common. There's
because I took ballet.
Yeah. Oh, if you did ballet,
Yeah.
it was ballet. Like, it was back in the day. Yeah, that's very common in certain sports, to be more predisposed to that. But it's because of the kind of shoes and the things that you do with the toes. Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. And so if you go through,
it just started hurting because I went back to doing reformer Pilates, and I notice it when I'm on my toes.
Yeah, put the targets on the area, and mix it in a massage oil or lotion, and just rub it on there every day for a little bit. It usually will take it out. There's another issue that more than half the population has, and it's referred to as Morton foot structure. And what happens is the big toe knuckle is farther back than anatomically where it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And so the tendency is your foot develops calluses in these very specific spots. Like, I think there's 4 spots, and your weight bearing joint shifts from the big toe to the like kind of second, and between the second and third. And you can kind of tell, because if you go and even touch like the ball of your foot between like the first toe, the big toe, and like the second toe, or sometimes the second toe ish, there's like this long kind of thin callus. It's because of that foot structure. I mean, you can look at the foot and see it if you evaluated it, but most people don't like look at the foot that way. So you can actually look at it from a series of calluses, and that also makes you more predisposed to bunions. And so I would say more people have Morton foot structure, at least on one of the feet, than don't. Like, it's that common. It is so common, but it's not really like a medical issue. Like, in the old days, we would treat it with like orthotics, where we had either take an orthotic and have the orthotic made, and then where the big toe is, we'd cut the orthotic out so that the big toe had to drop into that spot, or you put a little like pad under the first big toe to make it more like weight bearing. But it's like a good idea in the beginning, but it's like hard to like always be shifting them from shoe to shoe. And I don't know. I never found that it was a great long-term thing. Like, if it was, somebody was in crisis, that like kind of helped. But after that, because like I said, more people have it than don't. So I have it. So I was playing it with mine, and I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. It was awesome for like a week. And then after that, I was like, oh, these orthotics are making me nuts. Right. And so, you just kind of treat it. There's really not a whole lot you can do because it's structural, but you can minimize the effects that it has. And that just kind of hits all the spots.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.